Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finally got back to victory lane, which he did in the longest Daytona 500 in history after an accident in double overtime. Stenhouse and defending Cup champion and 2015 winner Joey Logano were battling for the lead on lap 212 when contact from Eric Almirola's Ford caused Travis Pastrana's Toyota to spin in turn 2. Pastrana's Camry made contact with the Chevrolet of Kyle Larson and hit the outside wall. The crash involved defending race winner Austin Cindric, who was trying to join Zane Smith and Austin Hill as defending race winners to go back-to-back in a season opener in all 3 series at Daytona. Smith won the Craftsman Truck race and Hill the Xfinity race to start the season, just like last year. Also involved were Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, AJ Allmendinger, Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, and Ryan Blaney. But when NASCAR put the caution out, Stenhouse's JTG Daugherty Chevrolet was ahead of Logano's Ford due to a push by Christopher Bell in his Toyota. Bell and Stenhouse both came from a dirt background. As a result, NASCAR declared Stenhouse the winner of the 65th Grand American race and was reunited with crew chief Mike Kelly. They both had success since they won 2 Xfinity Series championships together, driving for Jack Roush. Here is Stenhouse talking about winning the Daytona 500 after reuniting with Kelly and more, courtesy of Fox.
Yeah, I think this whole offseason, Mike just preached how much we all believed in each other. They left me a note on the car that said they believe in me and to go get the job done tonight. I made a few mistakes. We were able to battle back. This Kroger Cottonelle team worked really, really hard this offseason. Great pit stops, Hendrick engines, glad a Chevy won. Man, this is unbelievable. This is the site of my last win back in 2017. We've worked really hard. We had a couple shots last year to get a win and fell short. It was a tough season, but, man, we got it done. Daytona 500.
Stenhouse also talked about what made a difference in him winning in the end, especially since it took several restarts to get it done, and more. Also courtesy of Fox.
Yeah, when the 8 went to the bottom there, I was able to push the 22 and the 5. We had a huge run. I was hoping we were going to get to the white there, and we didn't, so I knew I was going to take the top. I was hoping the 22 was going to follow, and he did. He was able to push us out. I went to the bottom, the 8 and the 22, got a huge run. The 5, split me in the middle, but another fellow dirt racer with Bell gave me a good shot down the little short chute into 1, and man, we were out front when the caution came out. We were out of fuel, so the fuel light was going crazy. But, man, I hope y'all had fun. That was a heck of a race.
Stenhouse is also the first driver from a single-car team to win a Daytona 500 since Trevor Bayne did it in shocking fashion in 2011 with Wood Brothers Racing. It was the first win for Stenhouse since he won the Summer Daytona race in 2017 when he also drove for Roush Fenway Racing, now known as Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, or RFK Racing for short. He ended a 199-race winless streak with his win in the 500. It was also the first win for JTG Daugherty Racing since 2014 when AJ Allmendinger won at Watkins Glen. That was 266 races that it took before they got back to victory lane. After a push from Kyle Larson when the second overtime began, Logano was leading with 1 lap to go. Here's Logano talking about what it's like finishing second in his bid to win another Daytona 500 and more, also courtesy of Fox.
Second's the worst, man. He was so close, and leading the white flag lap there is up front. Kyle gave me a good push, and you're watching in the mirror, and they're 3 wide across there, and I felt like the 3 wide was going to hurt a lane. It looked like Kyle was getting pushed ahead, and then Ricky started getting pushed ahead, and I knew if I went to the bottom, my car didn't handle good enough, and I already got pushed off the bottom once, and I thought if I go down there, I'm probably going to get wrecked, and I don't know if I can get down there in time to throw the block, and so I didn't want to wreck my car either, and I don't know. And then you don't expect them to wreck. Like, you think you're racing to the checkered flag, and you put yourself in the best position to try to win at the start-finish line, and just caution came out. Yeah, you wish you could race to the end. Obviously, you can't, right, when they wreck that much. But congratulations to Ricky, obviously. I mean, there's nothing like winning the Daytona 500. That's why it stings so much finishing second. But still proud of the team, still proud of the effort coming off the championship last year and bringing this Shell Pennzoil Mustang back towards the front and getting a Ford close to the front. Wish it was in victory lane, though.
This Daytona 500 was the longest ever, which took 212 laps and 530 miles to complete. It was 3 laps and 7.5 miles longer than 2020, which held the previous record. Chris Buescher finished fourth after he led 32 laps, which was second most to Keselowski's 42. Pole winner Alex Bowman was fifth, Allmendinger sixth, Daniel Suarez seventh, Ryan Blaney eighth, Ross Chastain ninth, and race rookie Riley Herbst was 10th. Blaney made a big comeback after he got serious damage earlier in the race. Other notable finishes included Travis Pastrana finishing 11th in a third car for 23XI Racing, Kevin Harvick 12th in his final Daytona 500 and is the 2007 winner, Truck Series winner Zay Smith 13th, Martin Truex Jr. 15th, Denny Hamlin 17th, Kyle Larson 18th, Kyle Busch 19th, Bubba Wallace 20th, Aric Almirola 21st, Keselowski 22nd, Jimmy Johnson, who made his return to NASCAR after a 2-year absence, driving for Legacy Motor Club, which he co-owns, finished 31st, and Austin Dillon 33rd, respectively. It was pretty much clean for most of the race until lap 118 when Harvick's Ford turned Tyler Reddick's Toyota sideways in turn 4. After Reddick hit the wall, his 45 car came to rest at the beginning of pit road and was then towed to the garage. The 43 Chevrolet of Eric Jones and a 9 Camaro of 2020 Series champion Chase Elliott also got race-ending damage in what wound up being a 9-car crash. Blaney lost a lap on pit road while his car was getting fixed, while the others such as Larson, Busch, Truex, and Suarez stayed on the lead lap. Here's Elliott's thoughts on the crash. It looked like some guys just got tangled up front, Elliott said. Those of us in the back were just scattering to kind of miss it. It looked like the number 5 Larson and the number 43 Jones kind of went up to the apron. By the time we got slowed up, they were coming back across the track, and I was the lucky winner to get there first. It's a bummer, long ways to go. Hate to end the day, but it is what it is. What a way to kickstart the 75th anniversary of NASCAR with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. winning the Daytona 500. Pretty cool for him to do that. Long overdue for him. He's especially very good on super speedway tracks, and it's been a long time coming for him, especially to get back to victory lane. He's come very close on super speedways at times. He's obviously had the reputation of being very aggressive and wrecking the field a lot, getting the nickname Wrecky Spinhouse. But it was a well-deserved win, and it's always nice to see a driver who hadn't won the Daytona 500 before win it, because especially when that caution came out late in the race, like towards the end of the final caution, and it looked like Logano was ahead, but the caution came out just in time. When the caution comes out, it freezes the field, and when the caution did come out, as a result, Stenhouse was ahead because they go by the scoring loops. So that was awesome to see that Stenhouse won, and I was hoping it wouldn't be Logano because Logano, he's already won the Daytona 500. He's good, and he doesn't have to win anymore, even though it would be nice to. But I was happy that Stenhouse won since we got another winner, and it's been a long time coming, like I said, for him. 199 races since he last won. Pretty crazy to think that, but always wins that come on super speedways. His first win came at Talladega, and the second one was obviously that Daytona July race, which he had a memorable victory lane interview saluting America, which was pretty cool since that was when back Daytona had the July 4th weekend before it became the final race of the regular season before the playoffs, what it is now. So that was pretty cool. Obviously, he's had a lot of success on these super speedway tracks, so it's not a surprise that he finally got one. He came close last year, but Austin Cindric held him off there. But still, that was pretty cool that he won. Congratulations to him, well-deserved. And I saw a pretty cool stat that said that Brad Daugherty, who is the co-owner along with Tad and Jody Tejector, apologize for mispronouncing the last name there, but yeah, that was pretty cool to see that Daugherty was the first African-American team owner to win a Daytona 500. Pretty cool there. And he was talking a little trash to Michael Jordan afterwards too, so that was pretty cool. He obviously couldn't be at the race, Brad, because of what happened with he had some eye surgery. So, but still, that was pretty cool nonetheless that his team won, especially. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will always be known as a Daytona 500 champion, so it's pretty cool there as well. And unfortunately, another year went by without Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. winning, which is unfortunate, especially since they're legends of this. They're going to be future Hall of Famers. They're legends of the sport as well and champions. But just because you've done a lot in your career, that doesn't guarantee anything to win this race. And a lot of champions haven't won the Daytona 500. As I saw Mike Joy mention the stat during the broadcast as well. Drivers like Ned Jarrett, Rusty Wallace as well, they didn't win it in a number of attempts. Tony Stewart. Also, what I mentioned as well, Bobby and Terry Labonte didn't win it. And those are some of the all-time great drivers and Hall of Famers and champions, and they couldn't win this race. So it just tells you how hard it is to win. But I hope that these guys are going to win eventually. It looked like it was going to be the year for Brad and Kyle, especially because they were up front leading. You just didn't know late in the race what was going to happen, especially. It looked like with 2 laps to go that it was going to be Kyle Busch, 3 laps to go. and it's going to be him winning. And then Austin Dillon was going to be second. But then Suarez spun into the infield with 3 laps to go. And the caution came out, forced overtime. And unfortunately, they didn't come out with the win. Neither one. And then Keselowski and Chris Buescher came out later. And it looked like they had something, but then they got shoveled back a little bit there. Well, unfortunately, they couldn't get it done either. And too bad for Keselowski because he's won everything he has to do in the sport. Same thing with Kyle Busch. And the fact is they still haven't won. And Truex pretty much was involved in a wreck later, so he was pretty much out of contention to win as well. So it's unfortunate that they haven't won, but hopefully at some point they will. But we'll see what happens with that as well. But yeah, that was a pretty cool way to the 75th anniversary of NASCAR as well, to start this way. What a race. It was very action-packed. It was very calm and a lot of nice battles, like side by side, and a lot of lead changes as well. Saw Mike Joy also mentioned, what was it, third most in history? Pretty crazy stat there as well. And it was just an incredible race. Obviously, the end of the Super Speedway race is always going to be wild. So it definitely kind of dampened a little bit. But it was still an overall fun race, especially Super Speedway races are going to have big wrecks at the end because drivers are trying to go for everything they can to try to win. So that's the one thing I don't like about Super Speedway racing. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but obviously the Daytona fighter is his own beast there. So I'll give it a pass for that. But still, obviously, you have to worry about the big one with these races. So especially there. But still pretty cool to watch. As well, very fun race, especially. And pretty cool to see all the legends that won the championship and Daytona fighter to start engines like Richard Petty, Bobby Allison, Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, among those type of drivers that were there. Bill Elliott, too. So that was pretty cool to see that, as well as to be able to kickstart the 75th anniversary of NASCAR, as well as they all won championships and the Daytona fighter as well. So that's a pretty cool thing on their end as well. Especially, so obviously Kurt Busch was there also to give the command as well. So another champion and Daytona fighter champion as well. So that was pretty cool to do that. And don't forget DJ Dale Jarrett was also part of the command as well to start engines. And 7-time series champion Jimmy Johnson, who made his return in this race also. Obviously pretty cool to be able to see all the anniversaries that have been coming up as well. 65th Daytona 500. Also I saw in the broadcast the 25th anniversary of the Coca-Cola racing family, which I didn't know about either. So that was pretty cool as well. Seeing all those drivers drink Coca-Cola there. Seeing that was pretty cool as well. Since Bobby Labonte was a Coke driver, and he still likes Coca-Cola, so that's pretty cool there. They'll show all the drivers there as well. Suarez and Dillon as well there, so it's pretty cool there too. But yeah, definitely excited to see how packed it was too, the race, especially at Daytona. It was super packed. It was a packed house, and there was fans everywhere. There was not a seat empty, it felt like, over there. The campers, and it was just completely full. What a spectacular show it has been put. This was sold out. The Rolex 24 was sold out as well. So Daytona's been pretty incredible, to venue and great stuff there as well. The crowd is amazing there too. So it's pretty incredible there. But yeah, like I said, tough for Kyle Busch, especially that he couldn't get it done. And those guys, like I said, Keselowski and Truex. But Kyle Busch made a bold statement on Fox with Tom Rinaldi, saying not if I win the Daytona fighter, but when I win the Daytona fighter. Obviously, he didn't get it done this year, but we'll see what happens in the future as well. But still, awesome race as well. So definitely enjoyable there too. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like. And if you are brand new, subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.